It is a medical procedure that can permanently change the color of your eyes. This is permanent. It's called keratopigmentation, and it is becoming more popular in the US after videos like the one you're looking at right now circulated on TikTok. The transformations, they are dramatic, but obviously doctors warn it carries significant risk. Joining me with more on this is Brennan Kilbane, a beauty trends journalist. I was pretty shocked, Brennan, when I saw this on my social media feed. Good morning to you. What does this procedure involve?
Good morning, and thank you so much for having me. Keratopigmentation, or KTP, as we like to say, is a corneal procedure. So it is a laser that cuts a tunnel kind of right above the iris, the colored part of your eye, in the translucent cornea, and then fills it with a mineral pigment that's inert to the eye, and it gives the effect of a permanent eye color change. So there's a couple of pigments that you can choose, and then those are a little bit adjustable.
Okay, so we're looking at some of the transformations now, and this is permanent. Like that's it, right? It is fairly new, we know that. There isn't much data on the long-term risk here, but the British Journal of Ophthalmology published a study of 204 patients, and they found, you can see it on the screen, a complication rate of about 13%. What sorts of complications are we talking about?
Yeah, so it has been studied for, I would say the proponents of the procedure in Europe have been studying it for about 10 years. So we have long-term studies. We don't have very long-term studies. But what proponents have noted is these three main complications, which are light sensitivity, a color fade, so the result of the color is not exactly what you thought it was, it's a little bit lighter, and a pigment leakage, where the mineral pigment leaks into other parts of the eye. Although proponents also will note that these are a small percentage of the all-over patient population.
So I understand you followed someone as they underwent this procedure in New York City, is that right?
I did. It was fabulous to watch.
Okay, tell me a little bit about that experience for you. What stood out?
Well, it's amazing because the procedure itself is so quick. You know, a doctor once memorably told me that it took his wife longer to get her nails done than it took for him to get his eyes permanently, blued. So yeah, it's somebody sits under a laser. Some of the laser is programmed, so it's so the doctor kind of like presses a button and then watches very intently, and then some of it he's kind of going over the eye himself and making sure that everything's okay. But it's really quick. It's if you're a squeamish person, it's not really hard to watch, and there's absolutely no downtime. The person can open their eyes and inspect their color in a mirror almost right after the procedure's done.
Does it affect their vision?
Well, they say that it doesn't. Of course, we do have some of those complications, and over time, you can see maybe if you got more of an intense color, perhaps you have inflammation for a little bit longer, that can lead to some issues or can go down. But yes, other than those light sensitivity, those potential other complications, and some doctors will caution that it's not safe at all, and that there is any sort of corneal procedure can open up risks for infection or other injury. So yeah.
I don't know, the idea, Brennan, I don't know, the idea of something coming at my eye, and you're awake the whole time? Like, how does that, you're not out?
No, you're not out. You're awake the whole time. They say it feels like a little bit of pressure on the eye, but people do not say it feels uncomfortable at all, which is amazing to me.
Oh, amazing to me too. Okay, so we know this procedure has been offered in Europe for about 10 years. We're talking about that, relatively new in the US. It is not available in Canada yet. Are we expecting it to be?
You know, I mean, at this rate, I would not be surprised if it didn't pop up in the next couple of years, because already you have the first doctor in New York who started performing it. The first doctor in America started in 2019, it's Dr. Mofshevich, and now it seems like there's already a couple of doctors in America who perform KTP. So I believe it's only a matter of time, but we'll see.
We got to talk about the cost, Brennan, as well. We already have things like colored contact lenses, which are considered safe. This procedure can cost up to $16,000. Why do you think people are paying these huge amounts of money to undergo a potentially risky operation when temporary alternatives are available?
Right. Well, a lot of people that I talk to will use color contacts, which are also an expense. Of course, if you kind of game it out, it seems like one of these procedures is kind of worth 50 years of colored contacts. So you could sort of do the math in your head and figure out which one is more cost effective for you. But yeah, it's kind of a similar thing to what we see with microblading, where people get their eyebrows tattooed, or lip blushing. It's these cosmetic gestures that people just don't want to make every day. They would rather wake up looking the way that they look in their mind. So and And a lot of these people who get keratopigmentation also tend to get other cosmetic things. You know, they might be more interested in getting veneers or you know, other body modifications.
Brendan Kilbane, fascinating. Thanks so much.
Thank you so much.
Hey, thanks for watching. If you liked this, be sure to subscribe here, or you can check out more Your Morning videos right here.